colder than the last couple days. We're heading out to the organic fields to burn some weeds around the manure piles we have stacked out there. Just some easier weed control. Words are hard today. It's been a long day so far. Doing some weed control around the manure piles so it doesn't spread out into the field. You know, can't use any chemical to kill weeds on organic fields, so we got to go. I think they do it once a week. I don't even know how to explain it, but they run over the field a couple times killing weeds every week, once a week. That's what helps with the weed control. It's like a non-stop process, and Seth does a great job doing it. You know, it'd be a lot easier to use chemicals, but the difference between conventional corn kidney bean prices and organic corn and kidney bean prices is insane. I mean, you got a lot. I don't know. I know that organic, you'd make more of a profit off of it, but there's a lot of inputs that go into both. Where you're not spending the money on the chemical, you're now spending more money on diesel fuel and tractor hours and man hours running over the field however many times. So in the end, you make more money. I mean, corn prices are crap right now. Organic prices are definitely a heck of a lot better. So you make money, but it's time consuming. More passes across the field instead of one for corn, you know. First year we did it, we had to walk the kidney fields and whack weeds. That was miserable, but it's all part of being organic. If you want to make the money, you got to put the work in. So we're gonna go out here and burn around on, I think it's 3 fields, I'm not sure, I didn't ask, but there's some manure piles out here we gotta go burn the weeds on. So doesn't seem as windy as it has been Sunday and Monday, so that's a plus. You know, 70 degrees today, got really hazy. Hopefully we don't blow away or burn the field down. So here we go. So I forgot that the tractors and yeah, they're both out here. I forgot the 2 tractors that Seth uses to run up and down the fields. We're out here. I'm gonna take a slight detour from our burning project to show you and explain what we got here. Get around some of these holes here. So this one here, get closer to it. That is your row cultivator. So that one will travel the shovels. I don't know. Let's get a better video here. Hop out here. So this one here actually will go down the rows. We get ticks galore. Let's see. Find some good mosquitoes. What we got here are these shovels. You know, you see that? There's all the way down there along, then we got the ones up here. Those go down the rows and take all the weeds out there. So that won't do any good for what's in the row of corn, but it'll get everything in between the 2 rows, if that's making any sense. So yeah, you put your wheels in between the rows, and then you drive down the field, and those shovels go in between the rows and kill the weeds in there. Now this one, your rotary hoe here, is what we call it. Not sure the technical name. John Deere always has their own technical names, but this one here you want to run when the crops a little smaller so it doesn't destroy the crops like it would as the corn gets taller, but it pretty much just runs across the ground and rips out any weeds that are small and stuff. You know, that one doesn't follow any rows. I mean, you still gotta take the tires there and put them in between the rows, but that way that's not running over the rows. But those don't really harm the crops because the crops are so small. We're just mainly aiming to get the weeds when they're small. And then as the corn gets bigger, you take that, the row cultivator there, and go down the rows and kill the weeds that way. And another organic farmer around us actually has a weed, I think it's a zapper. There's electricity and it zaps the weeds that are above like the crop. You know, so you're not zapping the crop, you're zapping the weeds that are above and kills them. Then there's a, what do you call it? They can torch them. It's this thing that torches the weeds. You know, you put it behind a tractor. We don't have one of them, but those are the two things we got. There was a, I forgot what they called it, but it's like a big harrow that you run over after you plant too. It's another thing kind of like that rotary hoe, more in the early stages for weed control. You know, get them early before they get big. Like I said, it's a lot of tractor hours and covering ground, but you wouldn't want your organic field to get taken over by weeds, because then your crop's not going to grow as good and you will not get good yield and make money. And farming is just a game of what if this doesn't work, what if it works, you know. I don't know, that's how I look at it. Probably nobody else looks at it like that, but it's an ever-changing game. Okay, well, heading to the field, and we'll get out and see if we can't burn some stuff down. So here's what we got. It's a little windy out here today, and lo and behold, I didn't bring a sweatshirt, and it's actually kind of chilly out here today. I'm sweating my balls off the last couple days, and now it's cold. So, got here's our propane torch. Big son of a gun here. Call her Big Bertha. So you know, with the striker like this, lighter, drive all the way up and down that manure pile on the other side, burning weeds. We're burning weeds. So as you can see, the kidneys here on the headlands, I mean, it's kind of rough looking, but the headlands just look rough all the way around. But when you get out here, yeah, sorry, this is the kidney field, by the way, 160-ish acres. But you get out here, it actually looks pretty darn good. I mean, there's weeds, but not much you can do there. But the rows, they're sure coming. Sure use a little rain, but I think that's why it's getting cold. But yeah, they don't look too bad. Cornfields don't look too bad. I don't know if we're gonna get in them, but let's go burn some weeds. So a valuable lesson to learn here. You should test your torch out before you leave and drive 20 miles to the field. So here we go, back to the shop, get the other one. Since there's no farm vehicles around, nobody else wants to run it to me. But that's alright. Kibble's coming to show us some things on our sprayer, so it'd be good to be there to learn some things that we didn't know before. So here we go, wasting time, I guess. Stupid. It was supposed to work, but it didn't. Whatever. So we're back. Ugh. After that debacle. How exciting that was. But we're back. We got our torch, new torch. I don't know, it worked at the shop. Doesn't mean it's gonna work here, but wasting my day. Oh man, where's the keys? Wasting my day. So now we'll go burn the weeds. Yeah. So what you might call this was trial and error. That was not gonna go well. I fired up the torch and I pointed at a weed, crept across the weeds to the manure pile and started the manure pile on fire. So there I was, kicking dirt on it, putting it out, dumping my last water bottles on it. Now I don't have any water. So that won't work. A lot of pointless driving today, but it'll be kind of boring. A bunch of videos of me driving around telling you what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna do it because it's too windy. Shocking. Yeah, that would have been bad if that whole manure pile would have started on fire, but we'll go back to the shop and we'll find something entertaining to do there. What a pointless day. Dentist in the morning, hour and a half later to work, driving around. Now it's almost 2 o'clock. It's been one of those days. We're not getting anything accomplished. Seeing the countryside though. Almost starting manure piles on fire. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So, back at her. 7:30. Had a little incident earlier. The weeds that I was burning, I got a little south earlier. I think I mentioned that. I lit a little teeny bit and it went right to the manure pile. Well, I threw dirt on that manure pile for a half hour. Thought I had it out, left, went home, back to the shop. And not like 10-15 minutes later after I got back, we get a call and say the manure pile's on fire. Cool. So filled the water tanker up in a panic. Not full, of course, you know, just filled the water tanker up. Grabbed Seth and his couple shovels and headed out there. Of course, you know, it's 18 miles away, roughly. I don't know for sure exactly, but well, we fly out there thinking like, oh, it won't be much. Why is my cruise not working? Oh, this cruise isn't working. So we flew out there, not thinking it would be much, but lo and behold, yeah, it wasn't much, but it was a good 10 yards burning, sadly. So there we were, drove out there with the water truck, whipped out the old fill hose for the sprayer, put the fire nozzle on her, and went to squirt. 2 hours later, we somewhat get her done, and then everybody shows up with the skid steer and the second fire truck. So we turned the burning pile over so we could soak the bottom side of it, make sure it wasn't smoldering underneath, and headed on home. Left the one out there, left the spare fire truck out there in case when I went back after supper, if it was burning, I could put it out. So we're on a rescue mission to get the second fire truck and make sure that she's not burning. Not how I wanted to spend my night or the rest of my afternoon, but hey man, accidents happen. I mean, I was just doing what I was told, but probably not gonna do that again. Not a huge fan of fighting fires, but we got her out, and hopefully when I get back out there, she's still out. It rained a little bit while we were putting the boys to bed. That might have helped. It wasn't a lot, but it might have helped a little bit. Might have cooled it down a little bit, but we'll show you what we got when we get out there. Well, we're here. Oh, shoot, that wasn't the approach. I'd get out and I'd show you what it looks like, but I don't want to blow away. It is unbelievably windy. But there's the backup fire truck. Sadly, it's only like 2,500 gallons versus my 7,300 gallon water tanker. But
the American Heart Association and American
there,
Stroke Association. Life is
beginning. I don't know. That's all that black stuff. I mean, yeah, that's only 10 yards, but soak that all down with the fire hose from the water tanker. Brought the skid steer out here. Cut a gap. So we, in case the fire wasn't out while I was at home eating and putting the kids to bed, then it wouldn't light the whole thing on fire. That was terrible backing up skills when I'm talking. But we split it so it wouldn't light on fire more if we weren't here. You know, it wouldn't burn all the way down there. Should pay attention to what I'm doing. I should go see what's going on. Bear with me, it might get kind of windy. It smells out here. Woo, look at that, perfect. Yeah, so that was, it was like two different strings there, but we flipped it and we soaked it all down. That was all smoky all the way. I mean, there used to be some corn stubble right there, corn stalks from bedding, like I showed you in an earlier video. Terribly windy, but that all burnt up. It was starting to work on that, but this here we saved the majority of it. So we just flipped it. All it takes is a little bit of fire to go do a lot of bad things, but we got her out, and right now she looks pretty content, pretty safe. So we're gonna hook up to the old fire truck there, the second one, and head around home. Hope we don't blow off the road. Just about didn't make it out of there. It's a lot of weight to be pulling in that field there. It's a soft field, softish field. Just about. We got Duramax power though. It's just, should be videoing these exciting things, but I just get like so worked up that I need to focus on what I'm doing that I don't whip out the camera. Like I flew out of the yard on the way down here to put the fire out, and I didn't even bring my camera with. Could have had some good footage of that. It was pretty entertaining. Really smoky. Yeah, we're pretty bad at that. I mean, in desperate situations, you know, I just kind of figure out what I'm doing. Because nobody knew how big the fire was. Nobody would tell us anything, how many guys we needed. So I brought the water tanker and a guy and some shovels, and we hoped for the best and hoped that it wasn't going to be wild. It was manageable with two people. But so sorry this video wasn't that exciting, but just giving you a look inside what it's like working day after day. Not always spraying. We don't always spray. We do exciting things. Today was pretty exciting, event filled day. Not a good event, but we filled the day with some stuff that kept us busy, kept us on our toes. So give this video a like, and comment, and subscribe. We'll try and do better with the footage. Maybe not have such panicky situations where we forget to video it, but just we'll try to get some more videos of what it's like day to day here as much as I can when I'm not too busy with the video. So stay tuned, lots more to come.